start from scratch. And I'm like, because I enjoy it. It inspires me to start from scratch. I really enjoy the fight.
Yeah. I think it motivates others too.
Well, you know, we come to starting from the beginning in any industry is trial and error.
Yeah.
So I already know I might do it wrong the first time. I'm definitely not going to do it completely right the first time.
Right.
And if I do, then it probably will be a very temporary thing. To me, anything worth it, you got to fight for it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to train for it. You got to prepare for it. You have to know what's going to come. Like, pause. You don't get into a war not thinking you're going to bleed. But you do know you're going to win.
Well, that's what I personally appreciate about you showing your process through these different start points, because, you know, you're one of the moguls and successful people that has not been afraid to show the trial and error process, or a part of that process that, you know, when you start whatever dream that you start.
You know why? Because the trade's not in my equation. That doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Anything I do, I'm not afraid to do it. I'm going to do it confidently.
Right.
If I'm going to be vulnerable, I'm going to be vulnerable confidently.
Yeah.
And that's all that counts.
Right.
You know.
But if people see that you can start from the beginning at something and do the trial and error and learn and
Well, that's the reason why I show it.
Yeah, it's inspiring a lot of people.
Well, leading by example is important. What I'm noticing about being able to raise my son daily, all day, every day, is that he doesn't learn from me like giving him a lesson. He learns from observing me, from looking up to what I'm doing and trying to emulate it.
Right.
So if anybody looks up to me, they'll emulate what I'm doing. So that's the reason why I like to lead by example. I'm not going to tell you to do something I'm not doing. And you might not be able to visualize me doing it, so I'm going to show you. You might think I'm lying. You can't say I'm lying when you can see it. I'm very honest. I'm transparent.
Yeah.
I think it's fly to be human and go through problems and deal with them fearlessly, not afraidly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know.
I've seen you do it on multiple fronts. Like, I think when some people think of Dame Dash, they just think of the financial success and the financial goals you reach. But I've seen you go through this path even with your family. We was talking a little bit on stage about, you know, the things you're enjoying right now and the road that it took to get there. I remember coming here in the beginning when we first started doing the Dame sessions. Things were a little, you know, a little all over the place.
We lost the baby, we was going to court.
Yeah.
You know,
But the kids, you was having little communication issues here and
having
there.
problems with my kids,
you know,
all at one time.
Yeah, and through you being transparent with, you know, with the therapeutic aspects of what you're doing and the process of working through that, you know, giving certain people space when they needed it, but with love, not with any malice. You know, you worked on yourself, on things you could have changed about yourself and how you dealt with your family. And then even today when we were talking, you're like, man, everything's so good right now. You know, and I feel like remembering that process that you went through makes it to where you can get through anything. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it's just like when you're broke and then you're rich, you appreciate it more. So when there's a fight to get to where you want to go, you really celebrate when you get there.
Right.
You know? And you always think about, for me, I always rewind. You know, I always say I'm a time traveler. So when I was saying this is what's going to happen before it's happened, now I was feeling. You know what I was feeling? Confident that it was going to happen. And it happened. So it makes me more confident about bigger dreams. I just have to know it's going to happen. I can never, and what I'm really focused on is I don't visualize the L. I only visualize the W. And if someone distracts me and tries to tell me what it looks like to lose, I get them away from me very quickly because I don't want to visualize the loss.
I mean, it's only a loss, you don't learn nothing from it. Like you said this backstage too, you said that, you know, even what might be perceived as a setback or a loss is a win. You know what I'm saying? Even that's a win.
It's always a win.
Yeah.
You know, did the Matt Barnes show,
Oh yeah, shout out to Matt.
All the Smoke, and you know, I was explaining to him, like, if you're a professional basketball player, even if you lose a game with a chip, you still won. You're a professional basketball player.
Absolutely.
You made it. So there's no loss once you made it. And I already recognize I made it, so I don't look at anything as a loss. I've already made it. At this point, there is no loss. Everything is me trying to be better and winning because I tried. That's how I look at it. Loss and win are based on the perspective of the person. I don't base my wins on what other people base their wins on. I never have. Some people base their wins on how they're accepted by other people. It's not a W to me, that's a loss to care about how people feel about you other than the ones that you care about.
Absolutely.
I just think there's a perspective, there's like a mind that's going on to control us. And I think that we're becoming aware of it and understanding how to pivot. And again, I'm an example of rough stuff happens to get to the easy stuff. But if you keep your head up and you breathe easy and you think before you react, if you count before you react, if you're cognizant of when you're out of control, which is not easy, but I've learned how to understand, like, oh shit, I'm bugging. Let me reapproach this. Understanding that if you want to get a different result, you have to do it different. And understanding that the unknown can make you uncomfortable, but you have to deal with that to be great. Just knowing that makes it where there's no anxiety for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I've seen you push through whatever you would call anxiety. You know, I've seen you tears over a lot of this stuff.
I cry a lot.
On camera.
Well, I'm not afraid to release. I don't hold nothing in.
Yeah.
You know, internalizing, for what I understand, is what causes the sickness. It causes the pain. Being afraid to actually let go or let it out.
Right.
To hold it in hurts. And that's where the depression comes. And I've never held anything in, which is why when I go through the natural tragedies in life, I'm not depressed. Because I haven't held in. I don't hold in my sadness. I let it out. So I get it out.
Yeah, I think it's also the proactiveness too of your forward progression constantly. Like,
it's the offense.
I think what happens a lot with people who suffer, you know, with mental illness or, you know, not being able to see a way out is that they stay stuck. They just stay stuck in whatever they're feeling because they don't see a way out. You know what I mean? And that has never been an issue with you. You know, like you said, you get out how you feel, but then you say, okay, what can I do about this? Because some people just get out what they feel and stay stuck in the anger or stuck in the sadness or stuck in whatever they're feeling.
I don't see the purpose of being stuck someplace you don't like being. It's not logical. So if I know I don't like being here, then I'm not going to stay here. Period. It's like a relationship. If I don't like the relationship, then we don't have a relationship anymore. I'm not going to have a relationship with something I don't like.
Including
anything.
Anxiety and things like that.
I don't like anxiety, so I have no relationship with it. I don't do anxiety. And anyone that brings it to me, I'm offended. It's a trigger for me. I know my triggers are different now. Now my triggers are, you my dreams, you're worrying. That's the thing that makes me mad because I have to deflect that because I don't want to feel that. Energy is contagious. Especially for the people you love. You feel what they feel. So if they're unhappy, you're unhappy if you really love them. So also my job is to keep everyone around me happy so I'm not unhappy.
And you know, what are some, you know, as far as, you know, the people that you love and the family around you and the people that are around you, just for people who may not know this, you know, what are some of the things that you do differently now as opposed to then, as far as, because before you were saying that everything is good with the family, everybody's communicating, you know, what are some of the things that I know you spoke on one of them, thinking about things before you react. But like, what are some of the other things that you've seen in that process that have brought you to where you are now?
Taking the high road, you know, not dumbing my energy down to someone that I actually made. You know, I just have to be the dad.
Yeah,
It means no matter what they do wrong, you still gotta be right. That's that,
yeah.
you know?
And I know having a family right makes like dealing with this business like easy.
The business shit is for the family. So if I'm working and I don't have a family, what am I working for?
Yeah,
Waste of time. So it gives a purpose. And again, you're only working so your family doesn't have to go through the rough stuff. So to be able to watch them enjoy not having to go through the rough stuff is a pleasure and an honor.
yeah,
And the pride that comes with that, knowing that you got the bruises so that person did not have to, it's undescribable, that feeling. I'm sure you're a dad, so you know what it feels like.
oh, absolutely.
You know, like, some dads, and no disrespect to them, they might not have gone through anything. You know, it may have been nepotism or inherited something. They didn't have to go through any pain to make their kid's life easy. But being first generation, there's a real pride in breaking the social class first generation.
Yeah,
It means I got the bruises. I lived through the pain so you don't have to feel it. Whether you appreciate it or not, I did my job. I was able to break cycles and, make it to where future generations may not have to work ever.
right.
I'm the guy in the painting that everyone's gonna be like, thank you, whether I'm here or not, I'm here. I'm protecting my grandkids' kids. I'm trying to make it where 4 or 5 generations never have to work again.
Yeah, no, I think that's the goal for most people. They got their minds
It
right.
ain't the goal for most people. That's
They
the
got their
problem.
minds right. That's it.
Yeah, most people are in survival mode. They can't think about anything but them surviving or them eating. I'm always eating.
And surviving ain't always living.
I don't want anyone that I gave birth to ever have to be as tough as I had to be,
Yeah.
because it's too tough.
I think too, being so focused on what because you said that you're happy in your world, which is something that a lot of people can't say. You're fully happy in your world, and I think I feel the same way. And I think what it does for me personally is we've been so focused on grinding for our family and working that we don't really pay attention to the outside negativity, like the outside.
Why would we?
But I think that's good, and I think it's a good example for people, especially now, like we were talking about with Rocky before a couple of days ago with the whole COVID situation, and people being more inside and being more susceptible to watching TV all the time, being on social media all the time, seeing what other people are doing, talking about what other people are doing, when they can be focusing that time internally into themselves and the family around them. I feel like you've been able to set a good example by creating those dreams for yourself, but also creating dreams, and helping other people accomplish their dreams. So I've seen the people around you be so focused on what they're doing, and what we're doing as a collective, as the commission and all of that we don't really have time to be poisoned by some of the negativity that's out there, because if you just pay attention to that, that's like the opposite of what mental health needs most of the time. The stuff that you're seeing on the television, stuff that you're seeing in the media, the stories, if you listen to them, everything's all bad and the world's just going to be in a panic.
Real quick, is your mic on?
I believe so.
Is mic on?
Oh, it just went out. Yo.
Now it's on.
Now it's on. Yeah, must the battery must have died.
Better you make it through my money away.
I don't know for sure. I'm just saying, I'm paying a lot of other people bills too.
That's boss move stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That is looking.
Oh, I ain't complaining about it.
Yeah.
You
It's things I gotta talk about.
Therapy, give me chill.
Can I get some
Alright,
therapy?
Yeah.
Alright,
No, it's good.
So, okay, then. You do need some therapy.
But
Yeah, I do.
like I was saying, I feel like you've been able to set a good example by, we always keep our ear to the street. You really better know what's going on here, but we're not totally encompassed by it. You know what I mean? And focus on what we're doing.
I created my own book.
Yeah.
And I've been able to architect and edit the people I want around me based on if they're like-minded or if they're not.
Yeah.
And I have options. You know, we all have options. So, you know, again, people aren't used to being, especially from our culture, in control of their future. They're always trying to survive in the present. You know, it makes it where you gotta play checkers and not chess. But I've been able to play chess from an early age. And you just have to, like when I look at it, I'm like, I don't need to be around more than 5, 6 people a day.
Yeah.
I don't need nobody. I really don't, because the 5, 6 people I'm around, I really like a lot. Love. I only want to be around people I love, or that bring something to the table. And I'm not out editing anymore. I know what I want. I know the type of mentality I want around me. I know the flags. I know my boundaries. Understanding your boundaries is so important to me. You can't violate boundaries. If you set your boundaries, that's like a contract. If somebody violates them and you still continue to move on, then why would they ever respect you, ever in life?
Right. Absolutely.
And how could you respect yourself?
Yeah. And you can't get mad when they violate it. You know what I mean? Because you're letting them violate it.
Yeah.
That's part of taking accountability. Which is a big part of mental health, is taking accountability
Yeah.
for what you're doing wrong. You know?
Yeah.
That's why healing is gangster, because the hardest thing to do is look at yourself and say, you know what, there's some things I can improve on for my own well-being. You know?
It's hard when you're scared.
Yeah.
But when you want to be better and you're not scared to be better, and you're always looking for what's wrong with you so you don't do it wrong anymore. It's just getting to your dreams as quick as possible by eliminating things that are stopping you.
Right.
And for me, it's like, you know, regardless of what, if it's stopping me, I should be doing it. No matter how I feel about it. It's just not logical. So I try to deal with the logic. If the people around me are unhappy more than they're happy, then I have to change things. If I'm unhappy more than I'm happy, I have to change things.
Yeah.
Logical.
Right.
I'm not going to get caught up in my normal being unhappy ever. I'll never tolerate that being my normal. But at the end of the day, things happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being sad or that happens. But you have to learn to live with it, and it wears off. You know, if you have something to fight for.
I think
You know,
you
life
said
with
it.
no purpose is not life to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it best. You said you learn to live with it. You know what I mean? And sometimes certain pain stays with you. You know what I mean? And that's normal.
But
But
I feel like the pains that hurt, they don't go away. Again, it's just
you just learn to live with it.
learn to live with it. It's part of the game. Missing somebody is painful, and there's nothing you can do about it once they're gone.
Right.
Period. But it is what it is.
And you know, while you're here, I encourage people to find something in your life that you're happy about, that makes you content. It may not always be in your money. It may not always be in your entrepreneurial endeavors. You know, it might be, you know, the people that got your back that's there, you know, with or without money. You know, it's been a lot of things in the news of people committing suicide, doing all that. And I think hearing your story and hearing how you appreciate the things that really matter. You know, and you chose to take care of those things first, and it made everything else easier around you. I think it's a good example for anybody that's feeling like they're at rock bottom and they don't got nothing to live for. There's always something to live for. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that we get that message out to anybody that's feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? So I know you're working on a lot of, you know, creating opportunities for other people, and you got a lot of other ventures going on. I know some are in the process. Did you want to speak on any of that, or are we leaving that for another day?
This is good for another day. But I can say this. My dreams have become way bigger than they were. And when I win, the people that have been rocking with me are going to win. The people that have been rocking with me is only because we're fighting the same fight. a good fight.
Sure.
So, you know, things are about to get better. They're good now, but I visualize the better, which is beautiful. I'm looking forward to the future.
It's happening already.
Well, the great thing is when your future looks better than your past. I've done a lot of good things in my past, so I think my future looks a little better and happier. And that's what I'm fighting for. And I don't get tired when I fight for love, ever.
That's, I think we should, that's a good place to end that, you know what I'm saying? So, look, make sure y'all stay tuned. Dame Dash Studios, Healing is Gangster. These are the Dame sessions. I want to thank you as always, sir, for coming through.
And thank you.
Being
You know,
a
it's late night
transparent
too, like, let's still get this done.
It's almost daylight, and we still doing this.
Yeah.
So, shouts out to all y'all that's listening. We'll see y'all next time. Heal yourself. If you can, help to heal others. And, you know, just keep it 100 with yourself.
If you want another amazing video with the one and only Dame Dash, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.